One of the things I love about my parents is even though they didn't have a lot, they were very generous. So when I was going through, trying to figure out my vocation, I was like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to be, but I do know that I want to help humanity.
Mm.
That's the thing I did know. And I was like, I just don't know how it's gonna all come together. So
Welcome again to another episode of our 2021 Founders and Shakers show, where we interview founders, shakers, and people that are really shaking the world. My name is Jeffrey Esmeralda, founder of HumanityShield.com. And today our special guest is a co-founder of H2O for All. Has a mission to provide clean water and sanitation to developing areas around the world. Founded since 2008, so that's about 13 years now, and that's amazing. He's also a chemical engineer and has a master in public health. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tim Muttoo. Hello, Tim.
hey, how are you doing?
Very good, sir. Thank you for being here today, and welcome to the show.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have some great topics we're gonna talk about.
All right, so let's do it. All right, Tim. So, very curious, what made you start this organization, and what's your story?
I'm happy to share this story a little bit of the journey that of creating a not-for-profit and a charity, and it really started with my childhood and my parents. My parents had immigrated to this country in Canada, and I got to understand the life of being a child of immigrant parents. And when you understand the life of immigrant parents, I understood what it was that they would make some hard decisions to leave the countries that they were born in and really come to Canada with not a lot of money, with the hope that they would be able to give their children and their family a better life. My brothers and I. So in that, in my family dynamic, I heard so much about their lives, and I understood what it was for them to work so hard
Mhm.
for the betterment of my life that I have now. I understood what the value of education and the value of money was. I understood all of those things in growing up. And one of the things I love about my parents is even though they didn't have a lot, they were very generous. This idea of generosity really stuck with me for my whole childhood. And I love the idea of generosity because it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be wealthy to give. And when I was going through kind of my life journey, I was like, this is amazing. I've seen my parents who don't have a lot, what they're able to give in their time and their talents and all of these things. So when I was going through, trying to figure out my vocation, I was like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to be, but I do know that I want to help humanity.
Mhm.
That's the thing I did know. And I was like, I just don't know how it's going to all come together. So kind of in that journey, I had some great mentors. I had some people that sat down with me, who would listen to me, and they would, tell me some feedback and kind of in this idea of me discovering of what my passions are and beliefs. And I had some people talk about, well, what about this opportunity for you to start looking at things that are going on around the world? And I was like, well, how am I going to do that? And I had a grade 12 science teacher that really encouraged me in grade 12 and to really look at engineering as a possibility. So kind of took some of those things and I said, well, if I'm going to affect change, I need to really develop some skills. I need to be able to be a strong voice in the conversation that I want to affect change. So I went to school, became a chemical engineer, as Jeffrey said. I ended up getting a great job, and it wasn't really about getting a great job, and it wasn't about all of those things. I was still in my heart wanting to affect change for humanity. Um, it was during that time that I was really looking at, should I shift gears from working for a large company and maybe focus my time and efforts on working to put towards helping humanity. And in 2008, I came together with Odile Bartlett, who is the other co-founder of the org, very strong in governance and how to put together and run charities. And we kind of started to put together the idea of starting a charity. In the meantime, I started to travel all over the world. I really took the opportunity because, through my church and through my friends who are different parts, and I started to really look at what was going on around the world from a first base point of view. And then I said, well, there's certain things that are going on around the world that really need help. These issues of water. I just couldn't believe it from a person growing up in Canada. And then these issues of sanitation. I was like, oh. And I saw that there was amazing organizations around the world that are helping people, maybe with children or women or abused women or child soldiers, but they just didn't have the element of dealing with how to approach this issue of water and sanitation. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to be an organization that partners with organizations across the world and to work within rural communities and with the leadership of community leaders to help people address their own issues. And that's kind of the birth of H2O for All. We didn't start with any money. We just started with a dream. We just started with people that began to really believe in what we wanted to do. And that's kind of how it started. It started with the idea that, we had a passion to help people. And then I said, well, with that passion, I need to figure out how to build my skill set and my knowledge and to address these issues. And then we set up the charity and this corporation to do due diligence on taking the public's money and doing the work of helping people in rural communities. The journey really was, there's a lot of people that talk about, oh, I want to start a charity or I want to start this. It's a journey that really takes making sure you do your due diligence and that knowledge. So that's in a nutshell. It really started with me as an individual in my life. This idea that we can do. My parents. If I think about my parents' journey from where they were to, coming to a country and that growth and that ability to make some transformation and give me a great life, then I really feel responsible in saying, well, what is my life doing, to make some impact? Do I need a bigger house? Do I need more cars? Do I need more things? Mm-hmm. Or can I put those efforts into doing that?
Wow. That's so inspiring, and it looks like it is like a story really when I hear you speak about it. Coming from humility, dream, love from your parents, your love to help other people, and having the really the knowledge and the guidance from other friends and mentors to show you the way to get to where you want. That is just like
yeah.
That's like a movie for me.
It's really understanding kind of who we want to help. So all of us, you might be watching this session right now, and you might be like, well, I have a passion or I have a heart to help these specific types of people, or I have a heart to do these different things. And I'd really encourage you in that passion to make sure you're combining it with the knowledge, right? Make sure you're getting as much knowledge as possible. You're following organization and leaders around the world that are doing things that connect to your passions, and volunteer with organizations. Spend some time connecting with organizations that you believe in and what they're doing, so that you can then have a voice within that conversation. I think it's important
Hmm.
that as we go in this journey, that it also depends on how on us and our involvement.
Absolutely. I do agree with that. It looks like, when you have a passion and you combine it with knowledge, it's like you're really channeling your passion, that energy in your heart with your intelligence and getting to have a better discipline and having a better target to where you want to get to. But yeah, let's help H2O for all. Let's help Tim Muttoo. Tim, if people want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
I'd love for anyone who wants to contact me. You can do it through our website, h2oforall.org. There's a contact link there. You can hit me up on LinkedIn if you're on LinkedIn, and you can find me there. But I'd love if you want to connect with me, learn about what we're doing, and share some of the stories of doing this together, right? And this is a story about how to do this together, right? And the more we can do things together, we're going to affect a lot of positive change.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tim. Let
Thank
us
you.
know, guys, what you think about this message. Please message us, contact Tim. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Tim. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, guys. Bye bye.